to all our listeners and viewers on Facebook. I'll start off with a prayer. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Qul huwallahu ahad, Allahu samad, lam yalid wa lam yulad wa lam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. Just to say that we're just glorifying God there. It's Ramadan, Radio Ramadan. I've got a host, Jem Stack, with me today. Jem, you want to say hello?
Hello, everybody.
And I've got a special guest here today, a young lady called Danica Perrin. Say hello, Danica.
Good evening, everyone.
I don't know. Wait there. Go for it again. Say hello.
Good evening, everyone.
Yes, we can hear. We
There
can
you
hear Danica now. We can hear Danica. We can hear her. Okay. Just to give you a bit of a sort of an idea of the agenda, where normally, Jem, myself, and Tariq, we start off with the football. We'll talk a little bit about the cricket. Danica's a massive Wolves fan. She'll obviously get involved in that as well. We'll then touch on Danica and her aspirations, to be a journalist, a young black female, and also somebody aspiring to be a journalist, and what her ideas are and why she's come into journalism. And then at 6 o'clock, we're going to get a phone call from Tom Brown, who's who runs the South Asian Cricket Academy. He's a Caucasian man who did some research on South Asian cricketers and the way they've been mistreated in first-class cricket, and they've formed SACA, which is the South Asian Cricket Academy. But I'm not going to steal his thunder. He can actually talk about that. But let's get on with the show. Actually, I'm just going to send out some commiserations. My one of my best friends, Naz, played at Whittick. Do you remember Naz?
Do, yeah.
Fine cricketer, wasn't he?
Yeah.
His son passed away. Was involved in a car crash, Jim. I don't know if you were aware.
There wasn't. No.
Yeah, the viewers are probably aware there was a car crash about a week ago, and there was two lads in there, Naz's boy Safian and Tazim Ali, the future boxing great. Unfortunately, Tazim died there and then, in the accident, and unfortunately Safian passed away a couple of days ago. So from myself, Jem and Danica, commiserations out to the family, and we just hope that they have patience. I can't even imagine. I don't want to imagine losing, a son who's 18, 19-year-old, and died in a car crash. So unfortunately, it's tough. I met Naz yesterday. I went to the mosque and met him because we were mates. He hugged me, and it was just tough. I didn't even know what to say to him. I just did not know what to say. But everybody out there, please, who's listening, can you please pray for Naz and his family? And we pray that Safi and Tazim, in the next life, they're going to be, in the right place, hopefully, inshallah, with the grace of God Almighty. Okay, back to the show. Stack, long journey down to Burnley yesterday, wasn't it?
Up to Burnley, yeah. But either way,
Oh,
it was
sorry, mate.
still a long journey, yeah. Still a long journey.
Who went down with you? I know Lewis was there. Anybody else?
Adam, Pete, and normally, to be fair, see quite a few faces at the matches, but didn't really bump into anybody yesterday. So it was just I know that there's a couple of guys that have that Lewis and Adam knew. Saw actually the Hugheses from Whittick and Finchfield. So Brad and Lewis, and obviously their mum and dad. So nice to catch up with them. Obviously, both of us played at Whittick, and they're doing really well this season with Vinnie Banks steering the ship. So it was nice to catch up with them. But
we will touch on Whittick in a bit, yeah. But
from a football perspective, there was not really much to shout about. I think the highlight of my day was next to Turf Moor, which is the Burnley ground, is Burnley Cricket Club. So before the match, we got to catch about an hour of the Sunday match.
Okay.
It's Burnley Cricket Club second 11.
Yeah.
Which was actually probably better than the football.
My God, you're really upset about this yesterday. I mean, were Wolves really poor yesterday?
I think it's just that every time that we get within these European spots.
Yeah.
We build up a bit of momentum, and it happened a couple of weeks ago against Newcastle. These teams are down towards the bottom. Leeds, Newcastle, Burnley. We get our hopes up. All we need to do is just get 3 points, and then we bunny hop West Ham or close some room on the other teams, and we just don't perform. And I think it's just really infuriating because, it's in our hands.
You know what? Wolves have been a better team to watch over the last few years, but I have to say the game at Burnley. Would it be fair to say that they bottled it yesterday?
I think that they went out with quite an attacking side. A lot of players would like to see Pedro Neto starting, I would have thought. I don't think Hwang's got too many fans right now because of his recent performances, but I think the disappointing part was that we brought off Fabio Silva, and in probably the past 2 or 3 months he's started to get a lot of recognition. A lot of Wolves fans are starting to grow to love him, and chasing the game to bring him off, who started the game as our number 9, as our main striker, was a bit puzzling. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. Clearly it didn't work yesterday. But yeah, just the nature of how we played, chasing the game away at Burnley, and we were just passing it between our back four and weren't creating any chances. So just disappointing, really.
Yeah, Danica, did you get a chance? Did you have a chance to watch the Wolves? I mean, I know you've been down to a few games, haven't you?
Yes, yeah. So even yesterday, I know we were out at the cricket yesterday. I managed to catch the first half of the game, which got to say, I had to turn it off at half time. Wasn't liking what I was seeing.
You didn't like what you were seeing?
No, not particularly.
You've been away. You've been to a few games, haven't you, this season?
Yes. So I think the last game I went to was Everton away, which fortunately we won 1-0, which was a fairly good game. Not too long a distance to travel as well.
I'm sure you went to. Did you go to Arsenal?
Yes. I saw Gem. Yeah. Decent game at the start.
What do you think, Danica? Where do you think Wolves are going to finish this season?
I don't see us getting a European spot now.
Oh God, Jem, is she right?
At the rate we're going.
Yeah, I think that we've got 2 really tough games to come, which is Liverpool and Manchester City, and so with those coming up, yesterday was a chance. I mean, we came back yesterday from Burnley, and the conversation was pretty much that the Wolves players are going to pretty much be on the beach now for the rest of the season, because I think it's a tough ask to get that 7th spot.
Yeah, you're not going to... I can't see you beating Liverpool and Man City, can you? I can't see that happening.
I don't know. I mean, we do perform well against the better sides, against the top 6 sides. We do turn up. It's the teams at the foot of the table that we struggle to break down, and we've seen that through the results this year. But having said that, looking at the fixtures, in my head, I've started to accept that we're probably going to finish 8th, and it's a bit of a nothing position, really, because you're just on the cusp of it, and that's 2 years running, 2 out of 4 years that we finished 8th, and it's just crying out for that little bit of extra investment, and we'll break into Europe each year if this is anything to go by. My concern is obviously with Newcastle spending heavily. Are they going to be are they going to be coming up next year, and then we're going to fall down the pecking order, maybe finish 8th or 9th?
Well, I'll tell you what, Newcastle have done well, haven't they? But the thing is it depends on who the manager is next year. It's going to be the same guy, isn't he? Mm-hmm. So I can't really see. I think he's a good manager, but I can't see. I don't think he's got the quality to bring Newcastle into the top 6. No chance.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Doesn't matter what money. Doesn't matter what money you get to spend. I think you got to have somebody who knows what they're doing as well.
Yeah, he's done a good job. He was fairly unproven because he got Bournemouth to where they got to and kept him there on a shoestring. Really, he didn't have any money to spend, which suggests that he's probably a good man manager. He's probably a good motivator. But what can he do with money? And I think it goes one of 2 ways. He can sink or swim. He can either do really, really well with giving him 100, 200 mil, or he'll be gone by Christmas because they're maybe not succeeding, which is what they just want to buy instant success, really.
I mean, Wolves, if you look at the club itself, it's got a pedigree. It's got pedigree, hasn't it, the club? But for some reason we attract potentially good players, and then they leave. What I'd like to see is Wolves actually bring in real high quality players, who want to come to Wolves because they want to play for Wolves and they want to live in Wolverhampton.
But I think there's two ways to go about it. I think the business that we've done in the previous 5 or so years has been fantastic. I think we quadrupled the purchase of Jota by selling him on for 45 mil, which I think Liverpool will get round to giving us the money for that one of these days as well, because I don't think they've actually paid us for him yet. And again, like some other players, Patricio made a bit of money on him. So they're going in the right way. They're looking to buy young and hungry players that want to play in the Premier League, want to get to the play on the biggest stage, giving them the provision to do that. But I think that there is that understanding, like we had with Jota, that if they do succeed and a big club comes in, something like Liverpool, that it's a two-way thing. They've got to let them go because they can't just keep them if they're not going to be happy.
Absolutely. I mean, I was pleased with the Liverpool win. It wasn't easy. When it was 0-0 at half time, and I thought, you know what, with the quality we had there, I thought, we got to win this. But they were obviously fighting because they want to stay in the Premier Division, don't they? So it's still tough. Danica, who do you think is going to win the Premier Division, and why?
Very difficult for me to answer because I grew up as a Man United fan, and it's between City and Liverpool. I kind of want to keep my mouth shut there, but I do have a soft spot for Manchester City, which, as bad as it sounds, I do hope they do go on to win the league.
What do you think, Jim? How's it looking? It's looking more and more City, isn't it, now? Even though I'm a Liverpool fan.
Yeah, I can't see either of them dropping many points, to be honest. And I think the two sides that they've got, you've got to back the team that's got more points right now because they could probably both go unbeaten before the end of the season. So I'm going to go with Manchester City.
Yeah, I think I'm hoping that Wolves do us a favour against City and beat them because they've beaten them regularly over the last few, haven't they, Wolves?
We had a really good run. Was it last season or the season before? We beat them both home and away. Yeah. I remember I was at the October away game at the Etihad, and it was probably one of the best away games I'd been to as a Wolves fan because, I mean, Adama scoring those 2 goals just set us off.
No, you're right. It's quality. I just hope Wolves. You know what? Sorry about this, Jim. But where are Wolves playing City? Is it home or away?
It is at home.
It's at home.
It is at home. Yeah, it's not been confirmed yet.
Yeah, it was postponed. It was supposed to be April 17th.
Of course, yes, because the away game was when Jimenez got sent off, and there was that controversial handball, which wasn't a handball, but of course, because it was at the Etihad against Manchester City, it was a handball. Yeah,
they got it. Well, the thing is hopefully Wolves do us a favour. We win, and then we go ahead by a couple of points, and then you never know, do you? Right? I mean, Liverpool have got some tough games. But just changing the subject from the Premier Division to the cricket. Stack gloating again, another convincing win. Do you want to tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, so of course, a couple of weeks ago we were sitting here and we were, I suppose, we're thinking about what's going to happen. So over the
Stack,
winter,
can I just say something just before you go on? Your first couple of friendlies, the Ford House's first team were really struggling, weren't they? And then the third friendly against Silverdale, you kind of things started to come together, didn't they? Yeah. Do you want to carry on now?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't. Obviously, the point of pre-season games is to, particularly from a cricket perspective, is to transfer those skills that you've been practicing in the winter on indoor netting, where the ball doesn't do anything against the bowling machine a lot of the time. Everyone comes out of that feeling $1 million. And then, of course, when you get outside, it's a whole different ball game, playing at the start of April. So I wanted to get as many pre-season fixtures in to be able to transfer outside. So by the time it came to the first league game, we hit the ground running. And we weren't ready in that first warm-up game, and probably not in the second game either. But because we played the quantity of pre-season games that we did, most teams would have played one game, 2 max. Us playing 3 set us up really well for that. We lost, but again, I look back to the season when Wolves won the championship rather, and I'm pretty sure I went and watched them lose 2-0 against Shrewsbury, and everyone was thinking, oh, what's this team going to do, and saying that these Portuguese players aren't going to be able to turn out in November when it's snowing and whatnot, and they went and stormed the league. So I wasn't overly fazed by the fact that we lost. It was more about trusting the process and understanding that what we'd got in terms of the squad that we've got was a really good bunch of players, and that's started to show now that we've gone in and we've transferred that into the league games.
Yeah, I mean, last week who did you play last week? Was it Pelsall?
It was Pelsall away, yeah. So probably one of when the fixtures came out,
you would have thought that's going to be a tough game.
Yeah, tough game, and I think that actually the scorecard doesn't necessarily tell the full story, because they've got a very strong squad. They've just come down from the Birmingham League, maintained a lot of that team, and they've added to it as well. So
yeah,
they're a good team, good strong team, and I think credit to us that the game ended the way it did last week with quite a convincing win. But take nothing away from Pelsall, I wouldn't be surprised if at the end of the season they're knocking on the door.
Yeah, and then this week, last week I think you got Pelsall at, was it 112 all out?
Yeah, 112 all out. They got to a flying start, so I think they were 60 for no wicket off about 5 or 6 overs. So they came out of the tracks really, really quickly. I was scratching my head a little bit thinking what's plan B and what's plan C. But there's enough quality around that squad that I could turn to someone else that stepped up to the mark. And yeah, whether it was plan B or plan A, we went to that and we managed to bowl them out for 112 and chased it off. We knocked it off in 14 overs, I think.
14 overs. I think we were halfway through our game and you were already back home.
Yeah.
So
the way to do it.
That was a good win. And then this Saturday, let's be frank. I think, I think you still got to beat whoever's in front of you. The Cannock team probably wasn't the strongest, but I think you've done a similar kind of damage on them as well, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, no disrespect to them at all. Obviously, they're in the Premier Division on merit because they got promoted last year, and they'll give a lot of teams a tough game this year. But we were on our A game again, and we were hungry for it, and we weren't complacent. We played it as though we were playing a cup final, like we want to do every week. And again, we managed to restrict them. We bowled them out for about 118 or so. And my biggest bugbear from the first game was that we lost 4 wickets. I said, we've got to go into games. We've got to say we want to make a statement. We want to win games by chase totals like that, 1 wicket down, 2 wickets down. And they listened, they responded. And speaking to our pro after the game, he said he was conscious when he was batting that he didn't want to give his wicket away because of what we'd spoken about after the first week. So we ended up winning by 10 wickets. So another fantastic win and a big statement, sends out a big message to other teams in the league early doors as well.
Yeah, who's the people to look out for at Forward House's cricket club at the moment? I mean, who do you think is going to be giving you the performances, hopefully, to get you into the Birmingham League?
I think, to be honest, I think that
is that an unfair question?
I think I've learnt a lot from previous Wolves managers, for example, and watched a lot of post-match interviews where you kind of come to realise that you're only as strong as your weakest player. And I think that as a team, yes, in the first couple of weeks we've won convincingly and there's been some standout performances, but it's a long season and it's going to draw upon not only those 11 players but a squad of players. So far this season, we've seen performances by both the Pete brothers, Innocent and Niall Cooper. And then most recently on Saturday, Zach with the ball got 4 wickets. But it's not going to be the case every week. And it's all about the squad really, and all about pushing each other, wanting to get stuck in, wanting to get the bat, wanting to get the ball, and we'll see where that goes.
Yeah, it's a long season. I mean, Danica, just coming over to yourself. I mean, you know, you're a huge Forward Houses fan, aren't you? You know, you've tell us a little bit about your cricket history, because you did play county cricket as well, didn't you?
Yes, so I started playing cricket the month that I turned 11. So my maths isn't great, but I think that was about 2013, because I'm a January baby. So I started under the leadership of Chris Guest, who is just, from what I've seen even up to now, just an amazing coach. And he's helped my sister with her cricket so much. I know she wouldn't be the player she is without him and a lot of other coaches. In the May of that year, Lee Rees at the time was the under-11s staff's county coach. He came and watched me play a Forward Houses under-11s fixture against Milford Hall, where don't remember how that game went. It was like 10 years ago. But from that one game, he invited me to play for the county. So I had my county debut against Derbyshire.
Yeah.
Took 4 wickets off of not too many runs, which I've got to say, my opinion, a great debut. Went on to have a really good debut season for the county, you know, taking a few wickets. So I think boys county, does that go up under 11s, under 12s? Or do they do every 2 years? Because I know with girls
I think it's under 11, 12, 13, 14 and 15 with the boys, yeah.
Yeah, because with the girls we go 11s, 13s, 15s, and then I think 17s onward.
Yeah.
So the next season I played for the under 13s, under different coaches. And I wasn't really given many opportunities to bowl, considering the great seasons I'd played beforehand.
Yeah.
So it gets a bit emotional thinking back of stuff that went on.
But then you're also, I know you're saying emotional, but you've been a great role model to Davina, haven't you? Your younger sister.
Yeah, I'd like to think so. Yeah, because I know when I was playing under 13s that first year, I was one of the younger players.
Yeah.
My dad said, "Oh, you're younger than everyone else. Maybe next year you'll get more opportunities." I know I played a bit. I don't actually know. I bowled less the next year. Even as an older player on the squad, I played less, and ultimately, I felt I was discriminated against.
Yeah.
That's what I'd been told by adults, and that really knocked my confidence. That's a major factor of my anxiety nowadays.
Yeah.
I have really bad anxiety. That experience kind of messed up a lot for me, not just in sport.
Yeah.
Didn't realise until much later that I'd start sport, and I love basketball, love football. I'd start, and as soon as I'd feel things weren't really going my way, I felt, I'm not good enough, drop it.
But then what it is, you've been a great role model to Davina. I mean, Jem, just coming back to yourself, Davina, she's been great, hasn't she, at Forward Houses Cricket Club?
Yeah, I mean, it's fantastic to have somebody that is now at the position of the career that she's at. Associated with the club, and I think it is credit not only to the club but also, like we've already touched upon, Guesty, because I mean obviously Guesty was a pivotal role, played a pivotal role through the early years of Dav's playing cricket, to be honest, and getting that sort of hunger and enthusiasm into it.
Jem, we've got 6 seconds. We're going to go into a break, and when we come back, you're going to carry on from there. So guys, we're going to have a little break, and we'll be back in 5 minutes.
The death of a loved one is a very emotional and challenging time for the family members of the deceased. Al Mu'min Funeral Services have been supporting families across the UK since 2005. Their professional, experienced and quality service ensures the whole process from release from hospital to burial is taken care of respectfully and efficiently. They also specialise in worldwide repatriations, assisting to take loved ones to Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, Iraq or anywhere worldwide. almu'minfunerals.co.uk, your trusted funeral service.
Do you have a family member that's passed away and you would like someone to assist you in legal advice? Kenneth Jones Solicitors has been providing legal services for businesses and individuals since 1986. We specialise in probate, Islamic wills and family law. We also offer services in conveyancing, immigration and personal injury. Contact us today on 01902 745 773 or visit us on our website at kenneth-jones.co.uk.
Betsy's Burgers taste flippin' awesome. Betsy's world famous burgers are coming soon to Wolverhampton and Wednesfield. Prepare for sizzling hot smash burgers, bubbling mac and cheese, and sensational sides. Betsy's is home to undefeated crispy on the outside and fluffy on the inside fries. Dunk your Betsy's burger in a lava hot melted cheese and get a load of our loaded fries and mouth-watering cheese-filled onion rings. The king is dead. Long live the queen. Betsy's Burgers, coming flippin' soon. Eurofit Auto Centres, the West Midlands' leading independent auto centre, celebrating 18 years of service. All services, MOT and repairs, with a free collection and drop-off service within Wolverhampton. Book online today at eurofitautocentres.co.uk or call us on 01902 40 40 45 and we'll direct you to your nearest branch. The experts making vehicle repairs simple.
Are you in receipt of benefits and looking for cavity wall or underfloor insulation? Did you know, with Northern Gas Heating, you could get a free boiler with the insulation measure of your choice? Call 0800 083 1000 or go to northerngasheating.com to see if you're eligible. It's a quick and easy assessment. Northern Gas Heating, celebrating over 20 years in the industry. We're proud to be the UK's local central heating company.
Feeling peckish? Treat your taste buds with a range of delicious snacks and flavours of the Far East from Indus. Why not try our range of roasted nuts, dried fruit, Bombay mix and flavoured snacks? Indus by AIB Foods. Available in your local supermarkets and varied retailers. Indus, the world's finest foods. Khan Builders offer a full range of building services, from major rebuilds to small projects, home improvements, kitchen fitting, plastering, bathroom fitting, extensions and much more. We pride ourselves on providing a professional, caring and high quality service and always meet our customers' needs. Contact Khan Builders today on 07813 950 265 for a free quotation from Khan Builders. Pack Continental, your local best halal supermarket in Wolverhampton. Established for over 20 years, we pride ourselves on our fresh vegetables and fresh fruit. We have a variety of spices and lentils. We're also an award-winning Halal Butcher of the Year for 2 consecutive years. We supply excellent quality meat and poultry delivered fresh daily to our store. Visit us today at 1-3 Hunter Street, Wolverhampton, WV6 0QZ, or call 01902 717 792. Open 9am till 8pm Monday to Saturday and 10am till 6pm on Sundays. Do you need planning permission and don't know where to start? Whether you're planning on extending your family home or building a new one, Footprint Design Architects are here for you. With a broad range of experience in residential, commercial and industrial architecture, we pride ourselves in offering a unique, tailored service for all our clients. For more information, visit our website www.footprintdesign.net or contact us at info@footprintdesign.net.
Ramadan's blessed days are the perfect opportunity to reach out to suffering families in the Ummah with our charity. You can do so by donating to one of Ummah Welfare Trust's many projects which are helping our brothers and sisters in Africa, Asia and the Middle East. In these difficult days, charity is one of the best ways to earn Allah's pleasure and protection. To give yours, call 0800 4 0800 11 or visit uwt.org.
This is Ramadan Radio, your local voice, your local Muslim radio. Go to ramadanradiowolves.com and donate to your local mosque.
Hello, Assalamu alaikum. This is Zahid Shah. We're back on after the break. I've got co-host Jem Stack and studio guest Danica Perrin. Jem, I put you on the spot a little bit, didn't I? About Danica's younger sister Davina, Perrin. Do you want to say a little bit about the young lady?
Yeah, obviously, from a forward hours perspective, it's fantastic to have somebody that is playing essentially what is professional cricket for in the girls' game right now, and has a massive potential, massive future ahead of her. I think that do we do enough to channel that, and do we know? I think that our women and girls section doesn't necessarily reflect the fact that we're bringing through a player that could potentially play for England one day. So that's something that we should be looking at, and I think that we want to reflect that. And it's not just, of course, David's not the only one, of course. We've got Charlotte and Catherine that have been at the club for years, who regularly represent Staffordshire cricket as well. So we've got a good history with girls cricket. I just don't necessarily think that we do enough at grassroots level for it.
But, it's not just Ford House. It's everywhere. I don't think there's a lot of clubs who do a lot for the young lady. I think you've got a little bit with Arthur Pickering at Wolves. I think he puts a bit of effort in to the ladies, young girls cricket there. I've seen that he's, and to be fair with you, I mean, I got a lot of respect for the guy because he was my, mentor as a cricket coach. I mean, I learnt quite a bit off him, but apart from him, I don't really see that much effort going into the girls or women's game around Wolverhampton. I don't know about Birmingham. I can't quote or any other city, but from what I've seen in Wolves, it's not the best. You move up to Stoke-on-Trent. Things start getting better. You have clubs like Portal Park, Meakins, and which one's the other one now that Davina's playing at? Is it Whitmore? So there's a lot more women's cricket there, and I know for a fact that Davina's represented Meakins, cricket club at kind of national kind of competition level. But you're right, at Wolverhampton it's a bit more tricky. It's not just forward houses, mate, so I wouldn't have just completely have a go at us. I think it's every club, they just don't seem to do it. But I think with Davina, the other thing is I went to watch her yesterday. She was playing against Shropshire, and a shocking umpiring decision, right? For giving her a run out. I mean, she was actually in the crease, and the umpire gave her out. And I think she'd smacked about 15, 16. I think about 16, 17. She did about 4 fours, and I'm not joking. She just looked different class. There were also other contracted players there, but she just stuck out, and she was the youngest there. She's 15, and she was just smacking the ball around for fun. You know what I mean? And it was like, I shouldn't say this, but it was like, when they say men and boys, but what is it? Women and girls kind of thing. So for Davina to do that, she just stuck out. You'd agree with that, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, I do agree with you. Even from what you were saying, from the grassroots level up to county and professional. I've played it as a girl. Playing club cricket, I was so excited inside when I saw another girl playing for another club team. You just don't see it enough. And I think what we need is coaches who want girls to play and are passionate about girls playing. And, we also need to, I think a lot of clubs, if they don't have that, need to start bringing people in who can assist with that. And, watching county level and professional level women's cricket, I think there's still definitely, there's always room for growth, but a lot more still needs to be done, in my opinion.
James, something that you've been involved in, you were involved with Shropshire women's cricket, weren't you? But can I just say something? I watched the women's cricket yesterday, and I was quite disappointed. To be fair, I mean, take Davina out of the picture. A lot of the other cricket was very disappointing. I mean, they were dropping dollies. I mean, at the county level, if you look at county boys, you don't drop rarely do they drop catches. I mean, there was a lot of catches and misfields yesterday. I mean, what are your thoughts, Jem?
I think that at this moment in time, I think that you're probably right. If you were to watch the Shropshire men against the Staffs men, I think that the standard would probably be better at the moment. But I think that hopefully we're heading in the right direction. I think that with regards to women's sport, in particular in cricket, the airtime that it's been getting more recently, and rightfully so, I think that it's going to be heading in the right direction. More so, I think, from a football perspective, but I think cricket as well will catch up. I think that the likes of Sky Sports struggle to get people to watch cricket on TV at the best of times, like men's cricket. So I think the same problems are going to be with women's cricket, but I think it's going to grow. It's going to continue to grow. I think the biggest thing is the stigma. The stigma's slowly starting to be removed from it, and I think that it's now more acceptable to go out and go up to Ford Houses and just, like yesterday, for example, and see Staff's women playing there. And more people are inclined to just go around and watch the cricket because at the end of the day, it is a good standard. I like watching it. I think whenever Ford Houses is hosting a women's game, I always like to watch it because it's good to watch.
Well, I think this Sunday coming, there is a game there at Ford Houses, Staffordshire game. I think they're playing Berkshire. There's 2 T20 games, so everybody listening, if you get the opportunity, especially if you've got young budding girls who want to play cricket, take them down to Ford Houses on Sunday. I think the game starts at about 11 o'clock and they can come and watch. You don't have to pay. It's free. You can just drive in and park up and have a walk around and have a look, and if they enjoy it, find Jem Stack, he's head of cricket there, and he'll give you some guidance on how to become members.
We are also, as well, this year we're running Dynamo's cricket, which is going to be girls only.
Excellent.
Dynamo's it's an ECB, which is the English Cricket Board. It's an incentive that they rolled out last year, and it kind of runs parallel with 100.
Yeah.
Of course, All Stars is for 5 to 8 year olds, and that's been fantastic, and that's had a huge impact on getting more kids into playing cricket. But we found last year 8 to 11 year olds, there wasn't that much interest for it. So I think this year we've seen that that's potentially an opportunity to get more girls into cricket. So we're going to be promoting that to 8 to 11 year olds in the local primary schools, and hopefully we'll get as many girls turning up to that. And I think if we can get 20, and that'll be a massive win. Offering provision, even if it's just 8 weeks that they come and play cricket. Some of them will enjoy it, some of them won't. But hopefully they do, and we'll see them in years to come playing. Maybe even we'll find the next Davina.
Hopefully.
Yeah, you could. Now, thanks for the cricket part. Now I want to focus a little bit more. Jem, you can get involved. You will get involved in this. We're going to be asking Danica some questions as well. Danica Perrin, she started to do law. Was it? Yeah.
Yeah. Initially.
Yeah. And she's now doing a degree in journalism at Salford University in Manchester. Davina, what I want to know is we've had a little bit of a chat about Danica. I keep on saying Davina. I do apologise.
I'm used to it. No
Even
worries.
Jem was laughing. Yeah, basically what it is, Danica, is you've told us a little bit about your cricket. Why journalism, and what are your plans?
Yeah, so I'll start slightly on why I got into it, how I got into it. So initially in my early teens, I wanted to study law. I was always been a bit of an activist. I get that a lot from my dad. So, I really wanted to do something to help people, drive our country and our future forward. And, I've found a lot of academic challenges and thought maybe law degree is going to be a bit too hard for me. So I really got into writing, started writing for school, writing for fun and stuff like that, and really enjoyed it. And reading a lot of articles that other activists had done and thought, this could be a thing for me. So I went into that, and so with aim to, use my activism, promote women's sports, another thing I'm super passionate about with
Yep.
journalism. And I just think it's a really important industry. So what I've seen is a lack in especially women of colour who are journalists. So I mean, I'm a black woman. I say I'm a black woman. I'm fairly light skinned. I'm a quarter white, three
Yeah,
quarters black.
you're a black woman.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is then?
Honestly, I think it's visibility. I think you can't be what you can't see. And growing up, I didn't see enough black journalists to have that. Probably why it was not an option as a younger person. Oh, I want to be a journalist. Can't see anyone like that. I don't think that's a possibility for me. That's kind of like with the girls' sport. You don't see other girls playing cricket. Younger girls aren't going to want to play.
So when you look at journalism, do you have a role model?
Not particularly, no. I read a lot of different journalists' work. There was a journalist who formerly went to my secondary school, Nick Jones, who I had the pleasure of getting to talk to. Before and after meeting him, I read a lot of his work and really enjoyed what I read. Loved how he was, a hard hitter. He asked for serious questions. He asked what needed to be asked. He wasn't shying away or scared of, disappointing whoever he was interviewing, no matter how high he interviewed prime ministers and, really high up MPs and stuff like that. So, the bravery in him, really admire that.
I mean, Jem, coming back to, Danica, I was going to say Davina again. Danica kind of touched on journalism and black journalists. There isn't many, is there? You don't? I mean, who's the infamous one?
Trevor McDonald.
Trevor McDonald, isn't it, really? And there's the gentleman who comes on BBC One. I mean, do you reckon why do you reckon that is?
Good question. I don't know, to be honest. I think obviously yourself, you're probably more in the know there, and you probably can kind of pinpoint reasons why, because you're probably asking yourself, as a career path that I'm looking at, you've got to kind of preempt what are the barriers, what are the barriers to that, and what are the barriers that I need to overcome to make it as a career in journalism. So I guess that you've probably identified those barriers, and in doing that is half the battle in terms of overcoming them.
Yeah, I mean, what barriers do you see, Danica? What barriers do you see?
So, as a barrier per se, I don't know, but what I have noticed is if you want to read a story that's like about a black woman, more times in the newspaper or on the news, it's a white man reading it, and as bad as it might sound, I don't feel like that story's being told accurately. I think a story about a black woman should come from a black woman. I have found when I've read these kind of stories, there's so much more passion coming back into that writing. And, when you hear a story from someone who can relate to that situation, you just get so much more out of it. Okay, so you're in your second year. That's coming to an end in about 10, 12 weeks, or probably more? Next month.
Oh, is it next? Oh, next month. So it's not even okay. So 4 weeks time, and you finish your second year. Yeah. Then you've got one more year. Is it one more year?
Yes, one more year. 3
Okay,
years.
and then what are the plans after that year?
So I'm going to see what work experience I can do over this summer, and if that goes well, hopefully I can maybe start working with whoever I do my work experience with after uni. I hope to continue working with my parents with their company. I'd like to give them a small shout out if that's okay. Totally Care. We set it up in 2017 and I've always been a key part in it. So I wouldn't want to leave that behind. So I hope to collaborate between my journalism and business after uni.
You want to be a bid writer?
Say again, sorry?
Do you want to be a bid writer? Write bids and things, get contracts in for Totally Care. Is that what you're looking to do?
Yeah. End of every article, but support Totally Care.
Okay. So this is a bit of work experience, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, it is. Yeah, I can put this towards my 15 days for uni.
Yeah, definitely. And when we have Radio Ramadan, next year, you're more than welcome to, come in and do a bit of co-hosting. You know, because I think you've got a lot of potential. You know, you showed a lot of courage. You know, as a young lady to come in and actually come on the radio and talk a little bit about yourself. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, thank you. A bit nerve-wracking as a first time, but hopefully if I come back next year, I'll be...
Jem, she hasn't showed any nerves at all, has she?
I'm just thinking you're trying to replace me already.
Yeah, you're trying to replace Jem, aren't you? Yeah. So you've got the plan to work experience. Are you looking to get back into cricket? Because I've been pushing you to get back into cricket now for the last few years. Once you finish your degree, what do you think?
Not the first time I've been asked that this year. Am I making a public announcement? No. I intend to play a few games for my sister's club women's team this season. I did sign up. Gonna put in my order for my kit. You know, I think seeing the ACE program, which is African Caribbean engagement set up by.
Just hold on. Yeah, we will talk about ACE in a bit as well. Yeah, go on, carry on.
Yeah, seeing that is just, you know, kickstarted my love for playing cricket again, and you know, going to the event has made me want to start playing again. So yeah.
Excellent. So you mentioned ACE. Is that something you're familiar with? ACE? Have you heard?
Yeah, I mean, just from a just kind of 2 steps backwards, it is difficult. I think that a lot of boys playing cricket, we always talk about how they get to 15, 16, 17. When it gets to the adult game, they fall off.
Yeah.
I think that that's more apparent, and it's a shame that a lot of girls do that. And I think that me speaking from obviously my personal opinion, because my other half, again, used to play county cricket, I think that when you come and you play that men's game, and what is considered a men's game anyway on Saturday, there's massive barriers that you face and that we take massively for granted. But you look at 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old girls that are expected to go and play in a team when they've not got changing rooms.
Absolutely.
They've not got showers. They've not got a toilet or anything like that. And they're expected to, you know, turn up in their whites, leave their bag outside, and play and just embrace that game and almost feel like thankful that they're being given the opportunity to do that. One of the massive steps forward at Ford House is I believe that we've got a changing rooms now for female cricketers.
Yeah.
So that, of course, when girls and women want to play adult cricket, they've got somewhere to change and they don't have to feel that they're kind of just a spare part on it. But I think a lot of work needs to be done with that, and it's good that obviously you want to get back into it, but I think that is the same. And I've seen someone that's obviously very close to me that has fallen out of the game and just doesn't play anymore.
Who's that?
It's a shame. Rachel.
Yeah, I mean, she's a good cricketer.
Yeah, I mean, she's good. She's not as good as me, but she's good.
Yeah,
So let's
well,
get that one in.
That's what they'll all
you would
say.
have to get that in. But you know what? Can we give Rachel a bit of a plug, because she's doing some good work, isn't she? She's a nutritionist, isn't she? And she gives advice to professional clubs, doesn't she? Professional organisations.
Yeah, but again, similar with journalism, it's not easy because it's one of those careers that you don't just walk into straight away. You have to come out of your degree and you're at a crossroads. You go and get a graduate job because it's the easy thing to do. But if you're really passionate and determined, you've got to go and get that work experience. So, yeah, she's worked at various different places, Central Sparks and Warwickshire being one of them. But I think now has kind of settled on Lancashire. So she's working at Lancashire with the cricketers there.
Jem, is that full time?
It's not full time because I think that nutrition's a tricky one. If you've got a nutritionist there working full time hours, 40 hours a week, it'd get quite annoying because they'd be telling you what to eat the whole time. I think it's just needed that it's once every week, I think, or a full day every kind of week, which means that there's you have to kind of get a few clubs. So I think at the moment working with Birmingham City tonight, so few different professional outfits.
Yeah, but Jem, the England team, they've got a full-time nutritionist.
They have got a full-time nutritionist.
So are they being told to eat 24 hours a day? You've got to eat this. Is that what it is?
I think that the England nutritionist works there's a lot of scope for them to work, because you've got the England team, you've got the academy, you've got the age representative sides that are doing it, and then obviously there's a lot of networking with clubs and stuff like that. So they are able to create a full-time job. But for the likes of, let's just take Central Sparks for example. I mean, the players themselves, I think they only train maybe 3 days a week. So you've got another.
Right. Yeah.
It's difficult to create a full-time post when the players aren't there for 4 days out of the 7. So, and of course the funding as well. It's a huge one. I think that it goes back to that funding in women's sport has obviously got better, and with the introduction of cricket, for example, of Sparks and those other regional teams, it's better, but it still isn't. It still doesn't align with the men's game. So you still can't have a nutritionist that's on full-time hours, because it's not the money there.
Yeah, also when it comes to like things like sports nutrition, especially in a women's team, a lot of it would be researching at the start, 'cause especially with women, the way our bodies constantly change. You know, you've got to do all that research at the start.
Good point.
With all the players, because everyone's going to have different diets, different needs, different blood types, different blood works and stuff like that. So it's not just something you can just do, like just do it flat and let them go. You got to come back to it, but you can't just be on it every day.
You know what? You've just kind of highlighted something with regards to nutritionists and the way things are now. Moving forward, I think people will probably start. You know, your everyday person like yourself and I will ring up nutritionists and maybe get consultations. I think that this will happen. So I mean, at the moment you're talking about professional sport, but if you look at social media now, everybody wants to look good, don't they? So how do you look good? So one of the things is, you know, you might want to lose weight. You're not going to lose weight purely by just going into the gym, are you? Right? It doesn't work like that, does it? Because 80% of it is nutrition, isn't it? Right? And then 20% is how you work out. So I think there's going to be a lot of scope for this, you know, especially with social media taking over. I mean, I don't know what your thoughts are.
Yeah, there's that. And there's also, for lack of a better word, I'll say, in this post-COVID world, I think having seen, you know, the illness people had gone through, people want to be fitter and healthier.
Yeah, that's a good point, Jem. She's got a point there, hasn't she?
Yeah, and I think as well, from a male versus female perspective, I think that men a lot of the time do have it a lot easier, particularly when it comes to sport, but not just sport as well. I think that the whole, from my understanding of it, I think obviously you all have yours, but for that whole weight loss journey, I think that obviously the impact that it has. One thing that I've picked up on over the last probably 2 or 3 years. Is that kind of menstrual cycle and the sort of role that plays, and how that's a massive part, and how it's easy, if not, I don't know how to sort of phrase it correctly, but to lose that. And I think that a lot of the work that goes around women's nutrition in sport is making sure that you maintain a healthy kind of cycle. And that's quite a difficult part from what I can gather. So from a male's perspective, I find it's just easy. I mean, you just, you know, eat what you want and don't have to worry too much about it. It's a lot more difficult when it comes to the females, I think.
Well, yeah, but you talk about that, Jem, about eat what you want, but you don't. You're actually a fairly strict vegan, aren't you?
I am vegan, yes.
Yeah. So, you know, I think that's positive. I'd love to be vegan myself. I mean, I've tried it, and I think the longest I lasted was probably a couple of weeks. And then I went back. But I have times where it is purely vegan, right? In our house, where I'll just eat, veg and fruit, and the missus will cook veggie stuff. But how long have you been a vegan, mate?
Coming up to 2 years now, and that's strict. I mean, that was literally just from the first day. Just took everything out of my diet that was anything to do with animal produce or anything.
Why was that then?
I don't know. I mean, obviously, as you know, I've had 2 knee surgeries, and there's a documentary which is called Game Changers, which is based on
yes.
It's based on veganism, and it's the guy that actually presented it was he'd just had the same knee surgery that I'd had, and part of his rationale behind all of it was that eating a meat diet and with dairy, it causes inflammation of your joints. So particularly for him, he was saying, well, actually, it's going to speed up the recovery process. But of course, I did it, and when I tried it, it was difficult because obviously I was on crutches, I wasn't mobile, so I couldn't get out of the house too much. So it was almost like I couldn't feed what I needed from constantly going and getting this vegan food. But then a few months later, I came back to it and I tried it again. And actually, yeah, it worked and it agreed with me. It's been difficult. It's been up and down. I mean, I think that there's a misconception that all vegan food is healthy. It's not. I think that you can be definitely. It's very easy to be an unhealthy vegan because you can go down to Asda now, and you can get vegan pizzas, vegan chicken nuggets, chips, everything like that. But I think that if you look at what you're eating, then yeah, for me personally, I feel better. I mean, particularly after playing cricket now, I don't feel as stiff as I used to.
I think getting a call here. One minute. Can I just take this call? 1 minute. Hello.
Hello, it's Tom.
Tom, how you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Yeah. We've got. Wait there. How long have we got now here? We've got 12 minutes until the break. We were talking about veganism. But thanks for calling in, Tom. How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. I'm on the radio now.
You're on the radio now.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, hello. Let me just introduce. Sorry, Tom. This is Tom Brown. As I said earlier on today, he's in charge of the South Asian Cricket Academy. Am I right there, Tom?
Yep, that's me.
Tom, I don't want to steal your thunder. We've got about 12 minutes to break. We might, I think we're probably most likely going to go over the break. You've got Jem Stack here, who's he's a Ford House's first team captain. He's my co-host, and then we've got a young lady called Danica Perrin. She's a young black lady. She's been an activist, and she's also doing journalism. So they might throw some questions at you. But can you just introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about soccer and how this all came about?
Sure. So thanks for the introduction, everyone. Like I say, my name's Tom Brown. I've done a PhD at Birmingham City University, and effectively I looked into why so few Asian cricketers in the men's pathway were transferring out of the talent pathways into the professional game. So I've been doing that research for the last 4 years. That's coming to an end pretty soon. The findings from that study basically warranted us to recommend changes into the game and how the talent ID process can be done, and basically trying to point out things that we can do to be better. And what we also established was that quite a lot of the Asian lads that don't get to professional level, a lot of the evidence says that's got nothing to do with their cricket ability. It has, not nothing to do with their cricket ability, but that they're still good enough to be at this standard. So what the academy is for is to basically be a short to medium-term intervention to say, look, some of these lads don't have time for the game to change. They're in their early 20s now, and the game moves on pretty quickly. So it's a short intervention to say, look, these guys are out there. We're playing right now. I'm watching us play Yorkshire at the moment, and we're competing. We've just bowled Yorkshire second 11 out for 180, and we're 80 for 3 in response. So these guys are definitely good enough to be playing professional cricket. It's trying to give them a shop window to do so.
And is it a 3 or 4 day game that you're playing against Yorkshire seconds?
It's a 3-day game, yeah.
Oh, excellent. That's really great. Really impressive. Really impressive result. You're getting Yorkshire, who I'm not being funny, but they're the largest county in the UK. Yep. They get all their players from about 10 or 12 towns and cities. So, they've got the cream of the crop. So if you're getting them out for 180 and you're 80 for 3, that obviously shows that you've got the right people on board.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and it's not a weak Yorkshire side either. I think it's as strong a second 11 as they could have put out, I think, today. And yeah, like I said, the point of the programme is to give these boys a shop window to look through and also support coaches coming through. So we've got Shaftab Khalid here as well, who's played England Lions, but hasn't really been able to break into the coaching world, and giving him an opportunity, and he's acting as a spin coach and doing really well. So it's more holistic around the boys' game, trying to get lads an opportunity, as well as showcase their talent and help coaches get through as well.
Tommy, you kind of touched on the research. Did you say you've still got another year to go?
No, I've got just my year. I've got about a month to go before I publish everything.
How did you come about, to do this research? I mean, you're a Caucasian young man. You've played. But I know you've played Birmingham League cricket. I think Barton Green, was it?
Yeah, I played a few clubs. Barton Green, probably the main one of my short career, if you want to call it a career.
And you were a spinner, weren't you? Spin bowler.
Yeah.
Because I met one of your students at Warwickshire Second girls, Smitty, bowls leg spin.
Laura Smithson.
Yeah, I went over to her and asked. I said, because Zach's a leggy, so
yeah.
I went over and I said, how do you grip the ball? Because she bowls good leg spin. So I went over there because I was quite intrigued as a coach, and she mentioned, she goes, Tom Brown was one of my coaches, so you've obviously been doing a good job with her.
Oh, thank you.
No problem.
Probably not what you actually said, is it?
No, she did. She did say that. Yeah, when you bump into her, she can confirm that. So this research, you've kind of. How did you come about? You don't just come out. Okay, I'm going to do some research because I think How did you know that Asian players were being mistreated? Was it being reported to you, or is it something that you just did your own research, or was that?
No, it was. To cut a very long story short, the academy director at Warwickshire, Paul Greetham, did his. So when you do a level 4 study, you have to do a written piece of work or a small piece of research. And he looked into early specialisation versus late specialisation, which basically means, do you just play cricket or do you play multiple sports, and at what age do you stop playing those sports? And he highlighted that. He highlighted that it was very much that the Asian lads tended to just play cricket, and the white lads, especially those who went to private school, had multi-sport backgrounds. And he wondered if that was the reason for the lack of transition, because Warwickshire is a very big county. The pathways, roughly, it's actually over 50% British South Asian lads on the pathway. Yeah, only one professional signed there. So we had a chat. I was in a, stars aligned in terms of a good position in my career. It was something I was looking to do. We approached and came up with a plan with Birmingham City University, who had just signed a partnership deal with Warwickshire to do this research, and Essex County Cricket Club and the ECB also sort of part-funded and helped guide the study, because I think anecdotally everyone knew that there aren't enough South Asian players in the professional men's game, but we didn't really know to what extent and where that pitfall came off. Was it during the pathways? Was it getting kids into the pathways? And then effectively the results of the first study showed that they're really, Asian lads are really well represented in the pathway, but they're poor at converting to professional cricket. And we had to analyse why that was. And like I said, that's for the answer to that, it's a 100,000 word thesis, but I can't really summarise too quickly. But ultimately, it was faults that the game were making as well as the players. So it was, what can we do differently to create a better environment for all? And that's where Saka comes in to say, whilst we're learning how to create that environment, these lads don't have time to wait. We're giving them the opportunity now. And as I said, that Andy's just smashed the six over long on.
That's tremendous. And what I was just going to say to you was who's actually who's funding Saka? Is it the ECB or who's behind?
No, at the moment we're seeking sponsorship funding, so we're approaching businesses and asking. We've got 3 sponsorship packages ranging from £500 to £2,500. Obviously, they come with various perks, and then the Birmingham City University are our main funder, and they're putting in a substantial amount to help us with the programme and develop the research.
Okay, that's excellent. I didn't realise that. So that means if there's prospective businesses out there who are listening to this, if they wanted to support and fund this great work that you're doing, then who would they need to contact? Is it yourself?
Yeah, it would be myself. So we have a website at which is saka-uk.com, and our partnership page explains the process there. But I mean, ultimately, it's a a phone call or an email to myself, which is tom.brown@saka-uk.com, and I go from there. My number's on the website as well. So that's we're trying to be as open as possible and reach as many people as possible, because I think we're on to a winner.
No, you are, because I mean, I've seen your setup, because I went down. You had some trials at Malvern College, and it seemed to be going, it seems to be going in the right direction. How long is the fund? I mean, at the moment, the funding that you have, how many years is that going to cover you, or is it just for this year, and then you're going to be looking for more funding in the future?
So we have a 3-year partnership with Birmingham City University, and most of the sponsorship partnerships we're asking for a 3-year commitment, but it's it can be bespoke. We can make it whatever we want, really. We're always seeking more funding. We're applying for Sport England funding as well, because ultimately what we're running at the moment is sort of a skeleton program. It's sort of what we can afford to do, as opposed to what I'd like to do, which obviously comes with a lot bigger price tag.
Does that mean the lads are camping on the cricket? Is that what they do? Are they having on their own campsites? Before
we had a serious discussion about breakfast this morning, because it was £10 at the hotel, and I said, lads, there's a co-op over the road. Straight in for a meal deal.
Yeah, but that's actually quite sensible as well. Yeah, budgeting.
Yeah.
Any of you guys got any questions for Tom?
Just obviously more thinking about. I can empathise with the situation that you're in. We've spoken about this, myself and obviously Sonny. As you've obviously from the area, Birmingham area, so played Birmingham League cricket, staff's club cricket as well. Take our team, for example. The dynamics of our team is a split, pretty much, I would say, 50-50 between white males and guys from the Asian community as well. And that definitely isn't reflected nationally, not only at first class level, but then of course when you get to international level, even less so. So I think it's a huge problem.
Yes, so the numbers basically look at, it's about 30% of recreational cricketers are British South Asian across the country. That's obviously more. So right now I'm in Bradford playing Yorkshire, and I imagine that's way more than 30% here. But then that drops to about 20% for the talent pathways at first class counties, but then that drops all the way down to about 5% of professional cricket. And my sort of bugbear with the system was all the attention kind of goes at the getting kids into pathway sort of stage around the communities and engaging, which I think is really important. There's some good work being done, but I think we're missing a big problem that we're not really looking after the talent we've got. We get a lot of talent through the doors already, and by just adding more, I just think you're going to exaggerate the problem as opposed to fixing it at both ends, at the elite end and at the recreational level.
Tom, we've got about 40 seconds before we go into break. Have you got time to carry on after the break, or are you going to be tied up?
I think I might be able to do 5 or so minutes, but I think because the light's getting bad here and the umpires are looking, they might be coming off.
Okay, so we're gonna. Yeah. So what I'll do is if you just stay on the line. We're going to be going into a break in about 10 seconds. It'll be about 5 minutes. So you're going to be a bit bored not listening to anything. But we will come back, and we'll come back to you, and we'll give you another 5 minutes. Is that okay, Tom?
Yeah, sounds good.
Take care, bye.
Okay. Yeah.
The death of a loved one is a very emotional and challenging time for the family members of the deceased. Al Mu'min Funeral Services have been supporting families across the UK since 2005. Their professional, experienced and quality service ensures the whole process from release from hospital to burial is taken care of respectfully and efficiently. They also specialise in worldwide repatriations, assisting to take loved ones to Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, Iraq or anywhere worldwide. almu'minfunerals.co.uk, your trusted funeral
do
service.
everything for
Do
them
you
at the
have
moment,
a
which
family
is
member
not
that's
ideal,
passed away
but
and you would like someone to assist you in legal advice?
if I don't do
Kenneth
it, someone
Jones
else won't,
Solicitors
so
has been
that I'd
providing
rather be
legal
done.
services for
But the cost of-
businesses
the cost
and
of cricket is
individuals
unbelievable.
since
I mean, this game alone
1986.
cost us
We specialise in
£3,000.
probate, Islamic wills
with
and
travel
family
and
law. We
hotels
also
and
offer services in
everything.
conveyancing,
It's,
immigration
it's
and
ridiculous.
personal injury. Contact us today on 01902 745 773 or visit us on our
the balls are
website at
£120 each.
kenneth-jones.co.uk.
Betsy's
and you've got to buy a
Burgers
box, can't
taste
buy one.
flipping awesome.
£700 a box.
Betsy's world-famous burgers are coming soon to Wolverhampton and Wednesfield. Prepare for sizzling hot smash burgers, bubbling mac and cheese, and sensational sides. Betsy's is home to undefeated, crispy on the outside and fluffy on the inside fries. Dunk your Betsy's burger in a lava-hot melted cheese and get a load of our loaded fries and mouth-watering cheese-filled onion rings.
Sorry,
The
that
king
was nearly
is
run out. Sorry, I
dead.
missed that.
Long live the queen. Betsy's Burgers, coming flipping soon.
They are good. They are the top quality.
Eurofit Auto Centres, the West Midlands' leading independent auto centre, celebrating 18 years of service. All services, MOT and repairs, with a free collection and drop-off service within Wolverhampton. Book online today at eurofitautocentres.co.uk or call us on 01902 40 40 45 and we'll direct you to your nearest branch. The experts making vehicle repairs simple.
Are you in receipt of benefits and looking for cavity wall or underfloor insulation? Did you know, with Northern Gas Heating, you could get a free boiler with the insulation measure of your choice? Call 0800 083 1000 or go to northerngasheating.com to see if you're eligible. It's a quick and easy assessment. Northern Gas Heating, celebrating over 20 years in the industry. We're proud to be the UK's local central heating company.
Feeling peckish? Treat your taste buds with a range of delicious snacks and flavours of the Far East from Indus. Why not try our range of roasted nuts, dried fruit, Bombay mix and flavoured snacks? Indus by AIB Foods. Available in your local supermarkets and varied retailers. Indus, the world's finest foods.
Khan Builders offer a full range of building services, from major rebuilds to small projects, home improvements, kitchen fitting, plastering, bathroom fitting, extensions and much more. We pride ourselves on providing a professional, caring and high quality service and always meet our customers' needs. Contact Khan Builders today on 07813 950 265 for a free quotation from Khan Builders.
Pack Continental, your local best halal supermarket in Wolverhampton. Established for over 20 years, we pride ourselves on our fresh vegetables and fresh fruit. We have a variety of spices and lentils. We're also an award-winning Halal Butcher of the Year for 2 consecutive years. We supply excellent quality meat and poultry delivered fresh daily to our store. Visit us today at 1-3 Hunter Street, Wolverhampton, WV6 0QZ, or call 01902 717 792. Open 9 a.m. till 8 p.m. Monday to Saturday and 10 a.m. till 6 p.m. on Sundays.
Do you need planning permission and don't know where to start? Whether you're planning on extending your family home or building a new one, Footprint Design Architects are here for you. With a broad range of experience in residential, commercial and industrial architecture, we pride ourselves in offering a unique, tailored service for all our clients. For more information, visit our website www.footprintdesign.net or contact us at info@footprintdesign.net.
Ramadan's blessed days are the perfect opportunity to reach out to suffering families in the Ummah with our charity. You can do so by donating to one of Ummah Welfare Trust's many projects which are helping our brothers and sisters in Africa, Asia and the Middle East. In these difficult days, charity is one of the best ways to earn Allah's pleasure and protection. To give yours, call 0800 4 0800 11 or visit uwt.org.
This is Ramadan Radio, your local voice, your local Muslim radio. Go to RamadanRadioWolves.com and donate to your local mosque.
Hello, guys. It's Zahid Shah and guests, co-host Jem Stack and Danica Perrin, one of our guests, and also Tom Brown. Tom, you've got another. You've got 5 minutes with us because I know you're tied up with Saka and you're playing against Yorkshire Seconds. Something that we were just touching on, before we went on the break. You were saying that these games, they cost a lot of money, don't they?
Yeah, they do. I mean, in terms of especially when you try and play red ball cricket, which is 3 days long, you're looking at hotel costs, travel costs, and the bonus of Saka is that it's a national program, and it means anyone we've actually got 3 Scottish lads playing, but it does mean that comes at a cost in terms of travel expenses as well. So yeah, I think that this game's come in quite expensive. I won't go into the details of exactly what, but it's not a cheap game to play, certainly.
It's not, and you've had. Is this your second game or third game?
This is our second. We played Worcestershire about 2 weeks ago. Worcester second 11.
That was a good game, wasn't it?
Yeah, they got 380 and we managed to get 350. I mean, really, we probably should have won. We had them 216 for 6 and probably should have bowled them out for 260, 270. But a young lad called Rayhan batted really well for them and got 113. Took the game away a little bit, but then Malik on our side got 100. So
yeah, good player.
From that we're looking at we've played one game and we've already got 2 guys who are playing in that game. They're not playing with us today because they're away with second team counties on trial.
Who's that?
So Kashif Ali is with Worcestershire on trial, and Amrit Basra is with Kent playing Essex 2 today.
Yeah, because couple of good players there. Kashif Ali's been playing in the Kashmiri Super League as well, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's a little superstar. So I'm wishing all the best for both of them. But again, like I was saying, it shows the sort of depth in what's going on with competing with the biggest county in the country until 2 of our players aren't actually here. So it shows how much talent there is out there.
No, definitely, and I think you're doing some good work. I know the cost is there, and I'm hoping that the businesses out there who are listening to this, I hope that you can get in touch with Tom. Tom, can you do me a massive favour? Can you give that email address out again?
Sure, yeah. It's tom.brown at Saka, which is SACA -UK.com.
So it's straightforward as that. Guys, before I let Tom go, any of you got any questions for Tom?
No.
Danica?
No.
Tom, it's been a pleasure having you on today, and thank you very much. And I hope that next Ramadan we can have you on, where you can give us a bit more good news on how many players from Saka have been contracted. Right?
That'd be ideal.
Yeah, that'd be brilliant. And just if I put you on the spot here, what percentage of players do you think from your team will get the opportunity, do you think, to get contracted?
Well, I mean, in terms of, that's not my call. I mean, if it was up to me, all of them deserve it. But like I said, we're 1 game in with two players already there. So in terms of opportunity, I'm hoping the numbers are high. In terms of contracts, if we get 1 or 2 lads signed this year in our first year, that'll be brilliant.
Tom, look after yourself. God bless, and hopefully we'll speak soon. Look after yourself.
Thanks, man.
Take care.
Bye.
Hello. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I'm still learning. I want to talk a bit. 11 minutes we've got left. I want to talk about pets. And the reason why I want to talk about pets is because of you, Stack. Because recently you've gone out there and got yourself a dog, haven't you?
Yep, I have.
And you really enjoy it, aren't you?
I don't think you got much choice, to be honest. But yeah, I am. Yeah.
Go on then. What happened then? Why a dog? Come on. Why not a cat?
The honest answer is probably I think that Rachel said to me, "I don't see you during cricket season," so I made a flippant comment of, "Can go and get a dog then," and she did. So that's why she's got a dog. That's why I've now got a dog.
Oh my God! So it's not because you love dogs; it's because Rachel wanted to replace you.
To be fair, I've never really had a dog. I've always wanted a dog, and I've always liked the idea of having a dog, but I've never taken the step. And I think that having somebody else that is really passionate about having a dog as well kind of splits the workload half and half. So yeah, but obviously I think it took that to actually make the jump, but now I've made it, then I wouldn't turn back, because I think instantly once you find the right dog, you do kind of fall in love with it. So
Danica, do you like pets?
I don't have any, but I'm a fan. Yeah, I love a dog. Growing up, I know we always used to ask for them, but Mum was not a fan. I'm not a big fan at all. Of
Yeah,
pets.
I think Dave would like to have. Yeah.
He's a big dog kind of guy, isn't he?
Yeah, well, yeah, I was going to say. What are you trying to say?
I can't see him with a little dog, but
Yeah,
the big dog kind of matches his vibe and his style.
What do you mean, like what do you call him again? The Rottweiler?
Rottweilers, yeah. Then I would, yeah,
You can picture Dave with a Rottweiler.
yeah,
Yeah.
You could, couldn't you?
yeah.
Yeah, Jem, the dog that you got is actually sort of your kind of
Is a beagle,
kind of your kind of style, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I wanted a smaller one, to be honest, like just something that was really small, but they're a bit yappy. So I kind of met halfway and got a beagle that are medium sized. So,
Well, I had a dog. Well, long time ago. Even before I had kids, and it was a strange dog. It was a mixture between a Labrador and a sheepdog, and it was purely just black, right? But do you know what? When you lose a dog, or a pet, it actually hurts. So after that, I didn't. I never had a pet after that. I think the hurt was too much. I think my mom got a cat, but I think what I want to share with viewers out there is that when you have animals and pets, it's a responsibility, isn't it? Come on, Stack. You've been telling us a little bit earlier on. Give us what kind of things are you doing? What kind of responsibilities do you have when you have a dog?
I think it's similar to having a child, really, but I think it's fallen. I think when you have a child, obviously you've got 9 months to prepare yourself, and it's a huge move, and everyone kind of thinks, yes, that's a lifestyle change. I think with a dog, it kind of within a week, you have to sort of change everything. You have to think, well, I can't leave him on his own. I've got to take him out for a walk in the morning at 6, 7 o'clock. I've got to take him out for a walk before bed. Play cricket. You want to stick around with the lads, but you're conscious that you got to get back to go and see the dog. So it does have an impact on everything, to be honest. But equally, the small sacrifices that you have to make, and probably those selfish decisions that you make, usually, it's actually probably better for you in the long run, to be honest, because you're taking, like you say, it's that responsibility. So you're thinking, and you're putting others first, which is the main thing.
I also, this is just my sort of perception. I might be wrong, and parents out there, please forgive me, right? But I also think that me having a pet earlier on, before I got married, it actually did help. When I had kids, because how you have to look after somebody. Do you know what I mean? So Jem, if you and Rachel decide to have young Stacks and young Rachels, do you think this will give you the kind of it's going to give you a skill, isn't it?
Yeah, and we've got a bed already, so that's fine. It's a little small, but it'll double up. It's a dog bed, but it'll be fine.
Danica, go on. Come on.
You want my 2 cents on pets?
Yeah, we do. We want to hear what pet you would have, and why.
I think I've seen people who have pets that genuinely seem happier. I've always wanted to adopt a dog. You know, if I do have a dog, that's the route I'd take. I think once I'm permanently out of my parents' house. Yeah, but no, I think good.
So
good
who's having the issue at your house? Did you say it was your mom?
Yeah, it's my mom.
Why though? Why?
I think she wouldn't like any mess. She loves a tidy house. She wouldn't be happy if she had a dog shedding on the carpet, peeing on the floor. She'd want to kick it out straight away after the first time.
Well, the thing is, I'm glad she hasn't got my youngest in a house, because he'd be in trouble.
No, I think a dog would be like DJ for us though.
Hey?
No, my younger brother is 6 years old. I can't imagine a dog being much more difficult to look after than that one.
Well, I was going to say, because when we were at the game yesterday, when Davina was playing against Shropshire, we didn't know where he was. He was all over the place. Now, if that had been a dog, he'd have been sitting. He would have been sitting right next to his owner, wouldn't he?
Much easier to look after. After the 2 weeks of looking after the little one over Easter, I'm sure a dog would have been easier to cope with. No offence, DJ, I love you.
Jem?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, talking about adopting, we went for that, to be fair. It was, we took a 2-year-old that these owners couldn't look after him anymore, wasn't able to get what he wanted. So, yeah, we took that option, to be honest, and it kind of took out that puppy stage, which, like you say, there's a lot of wee on the floor and barking and crying and stuff like that. So it was a good decision as well, because it's, you're giving someone a home.
Do you know what? As I'm not trying to say I'm Mr. Religious United, but I mean, I do believe that, we have responsibilities on this planet, and I think, we're all God's creatures, yeah, and like dogs and animals and pets, looking after them. I mean, you said that whoever's looking after this dog initially, what was it? Were they mistreating the dog or?
No, I mean, to be honest, when we went to meet them, they were the nicest people that you could ever ask for, to be honest. And that really sort of sold it to us, because we knew that they was coming from a very caring household, and they were really fantastic people. But I think their circumstances changed. After COVID, they found themselves working hours that they weren't previously working. And he was in a cage for a lot of the day because, of course, he couldn't just roam around the house. And it wasn't good for him. He wasn't getting the exercise he wanted. He wasn't getting the attention that he needed. So fair play to them, to be honest. They took the sort of selfless decision that they were going to rehome a dog that they loved and clearly did love, which was best for him. So fair play to them. And, of course, thanks to them as well, because obviously we're benefiting from that now. So
No, and I think, Jem, in all fairness, I think you're doing a magnificent job. I think the boss is here. We're still 2.5 minutes. Yeah. No. I think you're doing an excellent job, Jem. And I think, for me personally, I think I think the Lord, the blessed Lord, will see what you're doing. So when your time is up, hopefully you'll be going in the right direction, as they say. And also the other thing is when you see a pet like a dog happy, right? Obviously it's going to make you feel happy. But I mean, the thing is you're looking after him. Vet bills. Have you done all that as well? Have you got insurance, vet insurance?
I think so. I don't sort that sort of stuff out, to be honest. I just cover the costs. I don't do the admin of that. I think...
Stack, I can't believe this. Who's doing all the work then?
Rachel's doing all the work.
Danica. That's out of order, isn't it? I'm going to get Rachel on this show, man. This is Stack, what's going on, man? You got to take a bit more responsibility, man.
I do, but I've left it in the hands of... She knows what she's doing. She's had dogs before. I'm an absolute novice, to be fair. I'd end up making the wrong decision, so I'll leave the important decisions down to her, and I just decide on what colour the dog bowl is.
Well, listen, guys, we've got up just over a minute to go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of let Jem and Danica say a little piece. This is the last show today, last show for Ramadan. Hopefully we'll have Jem and Danica on next year. Jem, do you want to say 20 seconds?
Yeah, just obviously thank you for myself and having me on twice in this period. Obviously it's been really enjoyable. It's been really good to chat to various different people. So for myself, thanks for having me on and listening to me. And like we've touched upon in the two shows as well, if you do want to get down to Ford Houses, anybody is welcome. Jump on the website if you want to get in touch with somebody. If you want to just turn up, it's Friday between 6 and 7:30 that we do the juniors. And I hopefully see you soon.
Danica, 10 seconds.
Yeah, I'm just going to close with a Maya Angelou quote, if that's okay.
Yeah, go on.
Just to push everyone. Do you the best you can until you know better. Then when you know better, do better.
And I'm going to finish off on that. Thank you very much for listening to my show, and God bless.